Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Tonight's movie is Flower. I don't know if you've heard of it. I didn't. It stars that girl, Zoey Deutch. I don't want to say douche, but that's what it looks like to me. Adam Scott and Kathryn Hahn from Bad Moms. Adam Scott's from a lot of different things, Parks and Rec and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, this movie is a sexually curious teen forms an unorthodox kinship with her mentally unstable stepmother. I think there's a lot more to it than that. I read a different synopsis, which was much longer. But I don't know, she got a lot of praise for acting in this movie, so we'll check it out and see what it's more about, because that synopsis didn't lead us to a lot. So I'll get into it and step back in and tell you what it's really about and what I'm thinking so far. So stick around if this interests you. Alright. Hey everybody. We're watching Flower. Let's do a quick check-in. We're at the 44-minute and 33-second mark, and I believe I misspoke. If you've watched me so far, I said she develops a kinship with her stepmother. That's not true. It's with her stepbrother. So her and her mother, I think they live alone, but her mother starts dating a nice guy, whatever, and he has a son who is in rehab. And he's coming out of rehab, so she starts developing a relationship with him, like a brother-sister type relationship, very strange one. So she also has a father who is in prison, and she's trying to raise money to help bail him out. And the way that she's very promiscuous, if I will, so she tries, she does sexual favors for adults. She's 17 in the movies, and then traps them or blackmails them into paying her money, and so that's how she's raising all this money. So, you know, she's really into that aspect of it, and even offers certain favors to her new stepbrother to try and cheer him up. But his story is he was an addict, like popping pills or something like that, and that's why he went to rehab. And the reason is he said that he was molested as a younger child. And nobody believed him, and nobody arrested the guy. Well, the guy in the movie is Adam Scott. So Adam Scott plays the pedophile, or the alleged pedophile, because we don't know that yet, or the accused. And so now that's her new target, is the whole thing. So as I mentioned, she tries to blackmail people into giving her money. Now she's kind of using her powers for good in this sense. She does do a great job. Like you only kind of know her, and you know, Why Him, Before I Fall, I think was another one. You know, and you know, like a sweet kind of girl. And this one, she's kind of more like a troubled youth, wild youth, I guess, in a sense. So I do like the difference in characters that she's playing, and she's playing them pretty well. I'm not a fan of Adam Scott for some reason, and maybe this is why, because he plays a pedophile. And Kathryn Hahn, I believe is her name, from Bad Moms, she's playing the mother in this, and she's always good. She's funny. I like her. And I also like the stepbrother that came out. But that's where we are so far. I won't go on any further. Now you have a better idea, because I misled you in the beginning, and I'm sure you're sitting there thinking, like, what is he talking about? No, she's developing a relationship with her stepbrother, and she's trying to, you know, help him out in a sense. So anyway, I get back into it a little bit more. We got a little under an hour left, and I'll check probably back in at the credits and give you my final thoughts. So if you stick around, you'll hear about them. Alright, be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Flower, and I have to tell you, interesting film. So let's talk about the stuff that I liked about it. I liked the acting. That's probably the thing I liked the most. Again, I thought Zoey Deutch, or Deutch, however you say her name. I'll have to figure that out, like I'm always messing them up. I thought she did a great job. I've seen her, we just saw Set It Up, you know, and she's like the bubbly secretary, and Why Him, and she's the bubbly girlfriend. This one, she was more troubled youth, you know, that wild youth and all that promiscuous, that kind of stuff. So it was a different character I felt for her, and I thought she did a great job at playing that role. At least I felt that way. And I thought her mother, Kathryn, you know, girl from Bad Moms, I thought she did a great job. And I kind of liked Luke, who was her stepbrother. I don't know his real name, but I thought I liked him. You know, you kind of start to to like him a little bit, as he's the quiet, shy kind of coming out of rehab type guy. So I did like that, and I thought the plot, the movie itself, I thought was a little creative. It deals with a tough subject, and I talked about what she was doing, and she was framing people to make money off of it because she's underage. And then it turns around that this other guy that they see at the bowling alley, this Adam Scott, has been accused of being a pedophile. So when you think about it, it was complete full circle there, in a sense. Like, you know, she's, again, doing things to frame people for having relations with somebody under the age of 18, and this guy has been accused of it. And so now she's going to do what she normally does, you know, instead of for money, but to get this guy in trouble. You know, to frame him so that he pays for what he did or what he was accused of doing in the past. So when I left you last time, they were devising a plan on how to make that happen. She starts to use her charm to kind of get close to him so that she can set him up. And then, of course, as usual in most movies, plans go awry and things snowball kind of thing. But I don't want to go into too much detail, because if you are interested in seeing this film, I don't want to ruin that for you. But overall, I think I'd give it a 7. I like it. Tough subject. I get it. Creative, kind of new. And the acting. So that's about it. I'm saying a lot, so it's a tough one to talk about. So I'll let it go there. I think you have enough information to decide if you want to see this movie. And if you do, leave me comments at the bottom. I'd love to hear what you thought. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub. Hey everybody, I'm back for a little open discussion. So the warning should have already popped up, but in case you didn't see them, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. What I want to talk about is the ending and how I think they could have done it a little bit better. So again, they go in with this plan. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, turn me off, or if you don't even plan on watching it, yeah, you could listen to this. If you've seen it, watch this, whatever. Spoiler alert. Anyway, okay, I've given you enough opportunity to turn me off. So, as we know, the plan was to slip roofies into his beer and then take provocative pictures of him and frame him so that he gets in trouble, right? That goes awry. He gets thrown on the Eiffel Tower piece that's on the coffee table, ends up dying. They, of course, can relate it back to the group of them. And the cops are on their tail. They go to Mexico. They go to Mexico. We all know what happens. The brother and stepsister end up hooking up. Great. They come back. Stepbrother's in jail. She's got house arrest and probation. So we're not really sure what took place there. But one of the things that they could have said was that she was getting involved with this guy. So this is the way I think they should have played out and how they could have got out of everything. I think, we all know what happened. The roofies happened, everything like that. He dies, great. So how does it all end? How do they live happily ever after? What if she comes back? So they have to talk about it, the four of them, and make sure they're on the same page and say, she was kind of developing a relationship with him. He had invited her over to the house and started offering her drinks. She actually suspected that he might possibly have roofies in her drink. So when he wasn't looking, now this is the whole story she should tell the cops. She switched the glasses so that he started drinking the roofies and she had the good glass. Meanwhile, as the night's progressing and he thinks she's going to start, to be roofied, he starts hitting on her. She screams. Her stepbrother comes to the rescue, punches him, and that's when he falls on a thing and goes down. And she could have told that whole story, and he would have been sold out for doing what he was doing at that point, although it's a lie. But then all these other girls who came out about how he molested them back then, So I don't know. I thought that would have been an interesting thing to do, that they could have spun it that way after the end and said, hey, everything was good. He was going to roofie me. I kind of guessed that. I got him at his own game. My stepbrother stepped in to save me. And when he punched him, the guy went down. We were scared. We were young kids. We didn't know what to do. We took off, and we were going to go to Mexico. we knew that was wrong, so we turned around and started to come back so we could share the story. That's the way it should have ended. See, this is the way my mind works when I watch all these movies. I think people should let me watch them first, and then I can tell you my thoughts on how you can end it or different things like that. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you watched the alternate ending from Kimmel's Irish Pub, if you watched it this far and you've seen the movie, give me some information. Let me know what you thought. I appreciate you tuning in. I apologize it's so long if you did stick with me. And tune in for the next time. Kimmel's Irish Pub.
Thank you.